Greetings, everyone. It's such a pleasure speaking to all of you, and it's been a while since I spoke to you one to one. I was fresh from an exam recently, and I was observing that the problems continue to be relating to the skills, the quality of answering. While there's a lot of information available at the drop of a hat, you don't know how to put it the correct way, and that is actually becoming a challenge. And I've been getting lots and lots of mails, and everybody is asking for some more videos on board rounds or clinical case presentations, and also mock exams. And how do we actually appear in the exam? As an examiner for nearly 30 years, including exams for MS, MCH, DNB, surgical oncology, surgery, MRCS, I have learned only one thing as an examiner, that it's the exam is only as good as the examinee and also the examiner. It has got nothing to do with how much you prepared. It's got something to do about that also, but primarily it's about how do you put up uh, with a system that is expecting you to deliver everything in that little time. But like they say, Scola said Vita Decimus, quote, which means you don't train or learn for school, you learn for life. So when eventually you find a lot of super specialty students coming or surgical residents coming, they haven't been taught knotting or they've not learned the proper way of putting the knot. And I was always very proud of the fact that we've covered that in our channel. But there are many who probably had no access to it, or they probably did not bother to think about it. But I think that's a huge problem. And with that pressure coming from all around, uh, uh, my apologies firstly for not getting in touch as frequently as I would have loved it, because I love teaching is a passion, and importantly, that's the only way I learned as to how to go about performing my surgeries. Therefore, this channel has nearly 95,000 plus uh, subscribers without me asking or bothering to ask. It's absolutely not monetized. Its access is free, which I believe should be free to all. But also at the same time, I got a feedback that what is free is not given the due. It is taken as a free for all. While I would not like to attach value to it, but I can certainly say that if you are a loyal member of this group, there is a lot of ignorance and information to share. And I promise you, I'll try my best to take some time out, because I was very hurt with a couple of examinations that I had to go for. I don't go that frequently now for the lack of time. I'm busy operating as a chair cancer surgery at Gangaram Hospital. It's a lot of work to do, volume is high, but I would still love to do it. And I realize most lack in the expression of what they already know. So there are four problems. One, they need to know what to know. That's important. It's not about a chat GPT question and an answer session. It's not about, you know, vomiting out all that you've learned. Without understanding, information can be a disaster. So therefore, understanding is the second thing which is missing. Limited in-depth learning and teaching is happening, which we need to work at. Thirdly, with so many colleges and so many students coming, with so many hospitals happening and so much happening all around you, I can understand you may get thoroughly confused as to what you should do. Even before you've done your MS, you're thinking about your MS, and before you've done your MS, you're thinking about your MCH, and before you've done your MCH, you're thinking about an organ that you need to do. So at no point you are in time with, or you are in sync with the time that um, you are living, and that takes away the sheer joy of learning, which is what is happening sadly. And I wish to do it for my own passion, also some kind of a legacy for all my students, and a lot of them would join in teaching. So we need to create this platform, make it stronger. Do chip in with your comments in this. Excuse me. We are planning to have a, a course which is going to be a regular case capsule, case presentations, surgical videos, discussion on those videos, mock OSCE, MRCS preparatory questions and their answers as to how to crack those exams, MS, MCH, MRCS, DNB, MBBS, surgery anywhere, any surgical discipline, you should be very clear that if you do not know the recipe, there's no way you're going to serve a good dish. Forget about cooking the right one. So we are planning to make it into a course which is in kind of a capsule, which will be regularly every week, one-to-one interaction, videos, case presentations. The details would follow soon. I'm excited about it for only one reason, that this is something which is desperately needed, and it's high time that we do it. And when I say we, I count me myself as the first one. So I would like to do it straight away, and I would want all of you to join in to make it successful, make it work, not only for yourself but for your juniors that are coming. Lots of my old students and my junior colleagues of past time, they've always been uh, part of this group. I've had the pleasure of teaching a lot of surgeons, three or four generations of surgeons. So I would request all of them to chip in for the sake of their new trainees to change the overall concept of surgical learning, which should be joyful, in depth, purposeful, not only exam oriented, but yet cracking an exam successfully, so that your there is a the cost benefit ratio should be looked at. I'm going to come out with that course very soon. You're aware of our scrubs course which you all join every year, and I'm trying to make everything hybrid so that there is virtual element to it which will look like a real one. Activities won't be just the typical modules which are totally theoretical. Practically, things would be happening. Cases would be presented while they're shown world over on a link virtually. Operations will be shown and we'll discuss their steps virtually all across the globe, physically for some, and for the one to one teaching, mentoring as they call it, that will be a separate session. So we'll have various grades where you will find that we are trying to incorporate something on the lines of the Gurukul that I started, Gurukul of Surgical Disciplines, which we have a large number of you that are members. Some people, as they get senior and they're not getting to hear much in those groups, they're not responding. I promise we'll revive it. We'll leave a question for all of you. You can leave questions for us to discuss, and it'll all be covered at the end of the week. And every Sunday, you'll have a regular virtual one to one with me. And I'm going to put my whatever remaining years completely dedicated to training the new generation or the next generation of surgeons in a way that I would have loved that they could train. And a lot of my students are joining me in principle in they are in India or abroad, and global teachers of excellence, including those who are examiners for the MRCS, FRCS, MBBS, MS, and MCH. They will all be joining. We'll have regular curriculum covered, which will take into account the mastery of MRCS course, mastery of MS surgery course, mastery of DNB surgery, and mastery of surgery in general, including later on some fellowship courses that we'll start where there'll be a hands-on element that we can work for. I wanted to keep it short and brief. I'll be open to all ideas, whatever you suggest and you feel can contribute. Please get back and do respond to this video. It doesn't have a case presentation, but I'll quickly tell you about three things in an examination which are making the greatest impact. One is the in depth understanding. While the candidates have moved, the examiners are the same. So you should have an understanding of what the examiner is asking. Number two, more than learning, cramming, or doing the AI work, understand what you're doing. Otherwise, it's going to be a very difficult future as a doctor in this world, because chat GPT can be approached or AI can be approached by a patient as well. So you need to be something different, which means your understanding of the same thing should be better than others. And thirdly, it is a dynamic process, learning is, and we will make it such. So you'll have scrubs coming somewhere in September, but before that, we would have done at least half the courses in the curriculum, and then we'll have, hopefully by next year, we will finish a group, which is a small group, close mentorship, which will be first come first serve basis, because we're keeping a space for 30 to 40 students to be physically present in the auditorium or the classroom, which would be then virtually projected all across with a link, so that all of you can join in. Physically, it may not be possible for everyone all the time, but you can always come. You can always register for the course. The details would follow in my next video. It has always been a joy taking questions, discussing with you all, sharing my ignorance and information, whatever you call it, for all these years. And I personally don't think it is going to be any kind of a stress, but I can assure you, if you finish with this course, if you do with this course, not only would you be falling in love with surgery, you'll also crack any possible surgical exam across the globe. MRCS, FRCS, DNB, MS, etc. A quick word about my very, very important students, that is undergraduates. But that is where we need to work. It's the nurseries that create the forest. In the process of looking at the forest, sometimes we forget the fern seed that started it. My focus is on undergraduates. I'll have a specific one to one with undergraduates for case presentations. Otherwise, learning is got no limitations. While I was teaching the undergraduates in the medical school, I felt some of them were brighter than the postgraduates that I had to teach. Later on, the same students became postgraduates. I saw that there was a little deterioration in their performance, and eventually, when they passed out, they weren't even half as good as they came in when they were in undergraduates. So it's somewhere that we make that damage. So we need to work at that, so that you sustain your excellence from UG days to PG and then to whatever you practice as a surgeon. And this association would be permanent and forever, forever. Thank you all very much. God bless you.